me enlarge this part here to show you. You see the two triggers, okay? And that means it was Officer Daniel Faulkner's gun and Mumia's gun, okay? Now, he testified in court that he preserved the ballistics correctly, okay? Most people probably have seen on TV, the movies, when cops go and they have a gun, they take like a pen, they put it through the trigger, they do whatever they can to preserve every piece of dust that is on that gun. What the hell is he doing here? He's holding both guns in his bare hand, okay? So what we know from this, at the minimum, is that he perjured himself in court when he said that he handled the guns properly. So right there, before I say anything else, we got grounds for a new trial, okay? At the absolute minimum. In the official police crime scene photo, Officer Faulkner's hat is right there on the ground. But in this photo, it's behind his head. Here's the first photo. I chose a couple of them. He took 31 photos. A couple of them got published in local papers. There's the hat, right up on top of Billy Cook's VW. So there again, you see the hat. This is where the hat ends up. Okay.
Where was the shooting? Where they're supposed to have been laying? Mumia and Faulkner.
Faulkner was laying here. You can kind of see the blood stain. I'll go into that a little bit. And Mumia, they were in front of Billy Cook's car here. And Mumia was reported to have been in front of that. And then Faulkner was found here on the cement. And so we see the hat was moved. And at minimum, we know they moved it, and that's just terrible practice, you know. I mean, that's manipulation of evidence. The quote I've gotten from Robert Bryan, Mumia's lawyer, giving his opinion on why it was, most likely was to make a more dramatic effect. Robert Chobert, people have probably heard of him. He was him and Cynthia White were the prosecution's top witnesses, okay? And he testified in court that he came up, as he saw Faulkner pull over Billy Cook, he pulled up behind Faulkner. Now, number one, he was driving without a license, and he was driving intoxicated. So it's pretty unlikely that he would have even pulled up there in the first place, based on the story, right? And even then, he would have had to look through Faulkner's car with the dome lights on, all flashing, and through Billy Cook's car to have actually seen the shooting. And that's unbelievable too, because you wouldn't have a good view. But this big blank space right here, that's where he was supposed to be parked. Yeah, because this is the back of Officer Faulkner's car. Okay? And right here, there should be a big taxi cab. And it's not there. There's no official record of police moving the car. The only reference we have was Chobert said that the police told him he couldn't move his car at first because he went over to identify Mumia in the police wagon. Other than that, we don't have anything on the record about it. Okay? Pedro Polakoff has said, too, that there was, from the minute he arrived on the scene, he did not see a car there. Okay? So these are pretty much the key things with the photos, plus one other thing. The prosecution said that Mumia stood over Daniel Faulkner and that in the process of shooting down, he missed 2 or 3 times. Okay? So if you're to shoot down at somebody and you miss and you're like this close to the pavement, that's going to create some large chunks in the cement where the pavement got blown out. And you're going to see chunks of cement that got shot aside too. It's not going to be a clean site. We already have the official police crime scene photo of the area. And that's what we're actually forwarding to right now, is the official police crime scene photo. But these Polakoff photos have been analyzed and looked at in that area, and there are no divots, no chunks of cement blown out, no holes from where it would have come. Okay, here we go. So this is the official police crime scene photo. You know, it's a little fuzzy, but I think you can get a pretty good picture that there's nothing blown out in the cement. Okay, so we had Robert Chobert, Cynthia White, and Michael Scanlon. They all said that this scenario happened. Well, we know right now, for certain, without any speculation, the prosecution scenario was not true. Okay? So how is it that three different people all say the same thing that isn't true? Because police told them to say it. Almost completely for sure because of coercion. Because Cynthia White was a prostitute who had, was facing charges. She was vulnerable. Robert Chobert, like I said, is a taxi driver driving without a taxi license and intoxicated, and he was on probation for arson for firebombing a school. Okay? And if I remember right, Judge Sabo wouldn't allow that to be entered into evidence as a credibility issue as him as a witness. And then Michael Scanlon, he was also driving intoxicated. So he was vulnerable also.